I'm gonna get geeky here and let you know that in my own wedding, I actually wrote a strategic plan for my wedding. I was reading Peter Block's book, Community, at the time, and I used his book about community and creating the structure of belonging as a guide when I set up the design of my wedding. And yes, my husband and I worked together on this, but one of the things we wanted to do is we wrote a mission statement, a vision statement, indicators of success, values for our wedding. And what we wanted out of our wedding was we wanted a wedding in which people felt like they were a part of it. They weren't there as spectators. They were actively engaged with us, coming to not just witness our ceremony, but be part of our ceremony. And setting that intention up front and just recognizing that that's something that we wanted, that helped guide our decisions about where we would host the ceremony, how we would set it up, what different elements of the ceremony we wanted to have. We ended up having a call and response part of our ceremony where we asked the people who had come, actively asked them to say if they supported us and if they would be there to support our progress as a couple, as a married couple. And I'm happy to say I think the ceremony was beautiful. It was very touching for me. I felt like it really achieved our purposes. And we're still happily married. All right, so taking it out of the marriage realm for a minute, let me talk about some practical ways that you can do this in your regular staff meetings. And these are ways you can do it without any additional cost, without hiring an outside facilitator to come in. These are the things you can do or someone on your team can do. Practically speaking, think about how the room is set up. If you want to have connection during the meeting, the room needs to be set up for it. A lot of meeting rooms are not set up well for connection. You're either at a long boardroom table where it's hard to make eye contact and there's this hierarchical structure that's just implied by the very nature of a large boardroom. Or worse yet, maybe you're in a room that's set up classroom style, where it's set up to look at one person in the front and everyone's facing that person. That is a very bad format if you're looking for engagement from the whole team. It would be lovely if more rooms were set up to accommodate a circle, because a circle is a wonderful way to set up a room for discussion or for active engagement. Those are very rare. I have not seen very many meeting rooms that are set up in a large circle. If you can do it, perfect. Otherwise, you often have to do a U shape or a larger square or rectangle where people can angle their chair to make it so that they can actually see everyone. Definitely take that into consideration when you're setting up the room. And make sure that your room is actually big enough to accommodate everyone sitting in a way that they can face each other. That's another issue I've run into, is sometimes the room is too small and you've got core people or just the people who show up first who sit around the center, and then you've got another line of people who are sitting behind them. And that can be very awkward to have people sitting behind you while you're trying to have a conversation. So meeting room setup is actually a huge part of setting the stage for what type of meeting you want to have and what type of engagement you're going to actually get from your participants.